Even France supported Ben Ali in his oppression, but then said that we should have the basic rights of demonstrating and of meeting and of freedom of speech and everything. So they're playing the human rights card now, but we know that they supported dictatorships. So I don't really know, because the government now is not stable, and this Ministry of Interior won't last for long. So that would be clear in the coming months and years.
If the US withdraws support from Mubarak now, I mean, Mubarak could be playing the card. Look, I mean, we've got the Middle East peace process. I'm an important player for this.
Big joker in this. We're a big joker in this peace process thing. I mean, come on.
If you heard the Hillary Clinton announcement on the first day of that we trust this government is stable and they are doing their best, something like that, to fulfill the legitimate demands of the people, I think we're lucky, because we had maybe some people saying we need the US support, we need not to upset the US or anything. And I think what the US and what the regime is doing is really playing into the hands of the movement. We don't need the US. We really don't care. Mm-hmm. And I think this is very clear to the people on the street. We don't care. We're going to stand the street until we get the change we want. The US can sort itself out. And I think this is what happened in Tunisia, because they were silent for the majority of the days. For most of the uprising in Tunisia, they were silent. And only in the past days, in the last days, they said, maybe you need some reform, while people really much miles ahead. So they are irrelevant, I'm sorry. And the European Union and the international community, so to speak, is irrelevant. They supported, I mean, half of this, I have to say, I mean, half of this, not half of this, 1/10 of this, if it happened in a country that is not loyal to the US, would have been an uprising. And we've seen it in mainstream media. I mean, 3 people will shout on the street, on a rooftop in Iran, and it will be street demonstrations and uprising in Iran. And I'm with the right of every people to revolt and to demand their right. But it's clear the hypocrisy. It's clear how what they mean when they want democracy. They mean we want to use democracy as a vehicle to topple regimes that are unsupportive of us. Other regimes, we're going to turn a blind eye.
Okay, let's talk about other regimes. Do you think this knock-on effect will continue? We've seen it, of course, in Syria. We've seen it in Jordan. We've seen it in Yemen.
This is what makes
What about Libya?
This is what makes Egypt far the most important issue today. If whatever is trying to happen in Egypt succeeds, it will be the rule of the Arabic people across the Arab world, all over the region. It will happen. And if it doesn't work, it will not happen anywhere
What do you think it means for the Arab world if this movement is not able to be stopped? If people power overrides the power of the bullet, what do you think the impact will be on society?
I think society will be a lot more cultured. I think society will be a lot more politicized. I think our future will be 10 times brighter. I think we might go through a short period of transition where we just, you know, touch around the scenes that we've never been allowed to witness. But after that, I think within 10 years or 15 years, it will be a great energy to develop the place, and the people in themselves will be something that will be a force of that development, and not just the regime from on top with the money of the United States and the international community watchdogs.
Interesting to know what your capabilities are if you are able to do what you want.
I mean, the Arab world has always been looked at as this third world, backward, you know, violent people. I mean, all across anywhere outside the Arab world, that's how it's viewed. And this is untrue and unreal, and you could see it in the streets. And this time,
process.
yes,
Protests.
and this time, I mean, the domino effect has started. It started in Tunisia, and it's going to spread, and there's no way of stopping it. People are persistent, and the image of the Arab world will change drastically when, inshallah, this completes.
And your parents, I mean, are they into it as well? Are they thinking, well, this is something we can entertain?
Mine are. I'm not worried. Mine were on the street on Tuesday. But I think for many parents who are usually reluctant to allow their children and to their boys and girls. I think more and more people are really feeling that if we stand still, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
It's not safe. We cannot really take the sidewalk and hope everything will be fine. It's not fine.
Yes, we're not safe.
Is this the
You're
tipping
absolutely
point?
right. They are not
the
safe.
tipping.
The Egyptian citizen is not safe in this regime. My brother walks the street, he gets kidnapped with no sign why, with no phone call to anyone. For 48 hours, no one knows where he is. You ask anyone, they will not tell you. Number one, I'm living in a country where I can be taken from the street without any
Or
prior
cordoned in the street for hours
order or
and hours.
anything. I am in a country where
torture.
if I'm taken from the street,
torture.
my parents will never know where I am. This is Mubarak's regime. This is what America supports, and this is going to an end.
Well, I
very
hope
soon.
you don't get taken away on
So be
Friday's
it.
protest.
Seriously, so be it.
People are
yes.
willing to take the risk to gain their freedom. I mean, what happened over the past year with all the torture cases that broke out in Alexandria with Khalid Saeed, I mean, it started a whole movement of we are all Khalid Saeed. We're all subjected to this emergency law that we could be taken, questioned, beaten, tortured to death.
And the
I
cherry
mean-
on the cake was the elections that they forged. And
unfortunately, we've run out of time. But thank you very much for talking to us. It's been fascinating. And to all our
Inshallah,
guests, thank you very
inshallah.
much for talking to us here on Al Jazeera. Gigi Ibrahim, a political activist, Amr Waked, an Egyptian actor, and, well, Khalil, a blogger and political activist, and via satellite from Tunis, Fida Al-Hamimi, a graduate student and activist. And, of course, thank you very much for joining us on Al Jazeera's Inside Story. You can always send your comments to us at aljazeera.net/English.